At Leandra Hulett's house, it's easy to tell she works for Target. Stuffed animal versions of Bullseye, the white bull terrier with the red Target logo over his eye, can be found anywhere in her house, from high shelves to the hands of one of her 3 daughters.
I mean, those are two that I propped up there, but the collection is out of this world, although my kids like tearing them up like they do Barbies, so they're not as they used to, but you can find one almost anywhere around our house.
The Bullseye collection has grown over Leandra's 12 years with Target Corporation, the popular retail company that holds the spot as the 8th largest retail company in the U.S. Starting as an executive team leader intern in college, Leandra worked hard and worked her way up to Group Vice President, a title she earned earlier this year. Reflecting on her life, Leandra says JC Schools played an important role in her success today. She grew up in Jefferson City and still has family here. She started with JC Schools in 1st grade as a Lawson Lion. In high school and college, she would become a track and field star, but she got her first taste of the sport during Little Olympics, an annual track and field event for area 4th and 5th grade students held at Atkins Stadium.
There are so many fond memories. It goes even all the way back to like Little Olympics. I think I got my first taste of track and field with Little Olympics and celebrating team sports and achievement, that sort of thing. I think that's probably one of the earliest memories of the competitiveness that I love so dear. And then I think, my time at Thomas Jefferson, that's really where I really fell in love with track and field. And I think some of my memories there were getting taught how to triple jump in the hallways when it was too cold to go outside. Or to run laps and you're taking those turns so sharp, but you got the workout in, or bounding in the gym and, all the fun memories there. And then honestly, with regards to education in middle school, you really got a taste for what that, extracurriculars and picking your coursework. Like I remember facts and, you could take some of the other different classes. And I think that was really exciting.
All those laps and all those jumps in middle school paid off as she went on to Jefferson City High School. Leandra was a standout athlete from the start. At the 2003 Missouri Class 4 state championships, Leandra won the triple jump as a freshman and earned the title of state champion. Her teammate and fellow freshman, Vera Nunswater, also took the state championship title in pole vaulting.
Had an amazing time in high school, and I think for me, one of my favorite memories is that first freshman year where Vera Nineswander-Smith now. Vera and I were the first, freshman state champions in a long time, and so it was really fun to celebrate that with her and to really start to understand what the student athlete world of track and field could do for me long term, alongside working with some amazing teachers and coaches at JCHS. So awesome memories. I could go on and on. I got 1,000.
She went on to win more state championships, triple jump as a junior and a sweep of long jump and triple jump as a senior. She was a runner-up her sophomore year. With a full-ride scholarship, Leandra went on to attend University of Nebraska-Lincoln. There, she earned major honors as a collegiate athlete, including being recognized as a 2010 All-American for the indoor long jump and a 2010 Big 12 champion for indoor long jump. As an athlete, Leandra says she learned the importance of commitment, discipline, teamwork, camaraderie, and even time management. Athletics also offered Leandra her first leadership opportunities. All of these lessons and experiences have culminated in the successful woman she is today, allowing her to chase professional opportunities with Target and take on challenges in the business world. No matter what she faces, Leandra says she can relate any challenge to something she previously experienced as an athlete or a student.
It is a huge part of who I am, what I've done, and what I teach my own girls. And I think that for me, whether you go on to be an All-American or you don't, and you're at whatever school doing whatever sport you love, I think the discipline that athletics teaches you is outstanding. And I think that's a huge part of just success in the real world, is being able to have to discipline yourself and to work extremely hard and understand, whether that's an individual sport or a team sport. I think you kind of understand what it's like to either let someone down or let yourself down. And I think those are really important self-taught lessons that individuals can go through. And I also think it just really taught me the importance of commitment. And I think in a world, especially today, you can get anything you want as fast as you want or have it hand delivered to you or whatever that is. But, you know, it's back in the day. Can I say that now? I mean, I don't feel that old, but hey, you didn't have all those luxuries. Like if you wanted to do something, you couldn't just, but you know, you couldn't just Google something and have it in an instant or whatever. So you had to listen. And I think like that is a skill set that oftentimes people are in their own world and whatever virtual game, whatever. But when you're on the track and you're listening to your coach or you're cheering on your team and you want them to succeed just as much as you do, that team effort and camaraderie, I think that is something that I loved the most. I got both. I got to do an individual event where I got to run in long and triple jump and nobody was gonna jump as far or run as fast than myself. But then I also got to see those points build up to a team win and a team championship. So I wanted to do well because I wanted our team to win. And I think like just that feeling of working together, working on teams is extremely important to the success as you go on. And I lead big teams now. And I think that just overall teamwork and leadership is extremely important.
Leandra's journey with Target started at a career fair. As a sociology and psychology major, Leandra says she didn't know anything about the business world, but she approached the Target booth anyway and listened to what they had to say. What stood out to her, someone who has been a team captain, was the company's emphasis on leadership.
I absolutely am so glad that I walked up to the Target booth at the career fair and listened to what they had to offer. And I think, you know, what was interesting or what stood out for me about Target was they really talked about, you know, I have a psychology degree in sociology. I love people, I love thinking, I love the mind, I love how all of that works. But they really talked to me about leadership. And I was like, well, I don't have a business degree. I don't know how to run a business or do all these things. And so they really talked to me about what it meant to be a leader. And as far back as I can remember, I've always been some form of captain of any team. And leadership was something I enjoyed. It came natural to me. And so I was like, okay, I think I can do that. And so I listened more to what they had to say. Like I said, went on, absolutely loved it. Started as what they call an executive team leader. So an assistant manager of stores. So, you know, my very first store was a $40+ million store that I had the keys to, and I ran by myself at times. And so it was a huge responsibility for someone right out of college, but I love every challenge and every day that Target brought, and no day is the same. And you're helping people. You help people every day. You truly help people find the joy in everyday life. And that's our mission, that's our goal. And I get to do that, whether that be so small or so big, just, you know, servant leadership, making someone's day.
Leandra has since held numerous roles in the company, including store team leader, human resources director in Kansas City, Missouri, leading HR operations for 100 stores in the area, and district senior director, directly responsible for all store operations in 11 stores in eastern Iowa. As a group vice president and now living in Wisconsin, Leandra is directly responsible for all operations in 72 stores. That's $2.5 billion worth that she is responsible for, and more than 3,500 team members she leads and supports.
So I'm really excited for this opportunity and for what it means at Target, what it means for my family, what it means for other Black women in business. I'm currently the only Black VP of stores right now, Black female, shall I say. And so I think that's really important with regards to representation and what that means for other leaders to see someone who looks like me doing a job that they're absolutely capable of doing. So I'm just really proud, as you mentioned, and proud of the support from all my family members, my friends, my husband, my kids. I think I wouldn't be able to do what I do without them. And as you mentioned, the countless teachers and coaches along the way that have taught me all these life lessons to be this successful thus far.
Thinking about the influences in her life, Leandra says her number one role model is her mother, Cassandra Watson. Leandra watched her mother work hard to put herself through school while taking care of her and her brother. She taught them both numerous life lessons.
Yeah, I think my number one role model was my mom. So I think I always tell people she taught me a couple life lessons. And I think the first one was life's not always fair. As difficult as that is to hear, I think, you know, there's oftentimes a sense of entitlement with some people. And so I appreciated that she instilled that in me at an early age, that that's not always the way, that's not always the case, it may not always be fair. And it really, I think, was also telling me just about overall perseverance, of fighting for what you want, being persistent, tenacious. And I think that that is me. If somebody asks me if there's something I want to achieve, I'm a dog on a bone to go get it. And no matter if I think I should have deserved it or wanted it, whatever that looks like, I think I appreciated her for teaching me that. And then also she told me life's about consequences. And I think that that's also really important because it taught accountability. And I could choose to go maybe do something I shouldn't be doing. But I think in my mind, because she taught me that, I always remembered like, if something went awry or I got in trouble, that's my choice. And I think, sometimes when you see young people or leaders who unfortunately aren't taking accountability for their actions, like it's unfortunate. And so I say those two things because I love that she taught me that. And again, I saw her work really hard to put herself through school to make sure that she took care of us, my brother and I. She's amazing. She is absolutely amazing. So my number one influence for sure.
Roberta and Dennis Licklider, longtime JCHS track and field coaches, also made a lifelong impact on Leandra.
They were a second family to me. They absolutely taught me a ton and taught me, who I am, the weight I can carry as a leader, and how influential that can be. So I love them for that and appreciate what, I inspire to be like them. And to take care of people, because that's what they did, no matter who you were, what you look like, where you came from. And I think that sense of inclusion, that sense of togetherness is really important.
Political figures and critical events in history have also played a role in her life, particularly Loving Day. On June 12, 1967, the U.S. Supreme Court decision in Loving v. Virginia struck down all anti-miscegenation laws remaining in 16 U.S. states, making it legal for people of different races to marry. Leandra's husband, Lucas, is white, and they have 3 beautiful girls together.
I actually was just talking to a coworker about this the other day, but Loving Day, June 12th, I think that's really important. I'm married to a white man. And I think, it wasn't until 1967 that wouldn't even be legal in some places. And so I think about just moments in history and time that I'm forever grateful for, because I'm able to live the life that we live because of those people who fought for equality or fought for things before us. So many people that I could name and list and talk to you about that are really influential, or a moment in time or a moment in history. But I'm just grateful to be able to be where I'm at, to do what we're doing for so many people who paved the way.
For anyone wanting to follow Leandra's lead and become a success, she says hard work is an absolute must. Have a plan, have a goal, and write them down to see progress. Some days are baby steps, and some days are big leaps, she says. Don't forget to appreciate every single day.
If I could really sum it up, it's just don't let anybody tell you you can't do something, or you're never going to make it this far or that far or whatever that is. And I think you've got to find that personal motivation, whatever drive that is for you, to be the best form of you. And I think you'll like where you finish, believing in yourself, that self-confidence. And we talk a lot. When I mentor a lot of young ladies, we talk a lot about that imposter syndrome, or that feeling like you don't deserve to be where you are, or you're not capable, or you shouldn't be there. And I think a lot of women, not even talking about diverse leaders, but I think a lot of women in general don't feel like they earned or deserve a seat at the table. And so I think that sense of empowerment for each other, I think so many people have told me that when I didn't realize it myself. Or when I started as an intern, if you would have told me I'm sitting in the seat of a group vice president at a Fortune 30 company, I would have said, no, I'm not. I'll be, very content running a store. And so I think it's very, very important to find those people who build you up, to help you believe in things you didn't know you could achieve. And again, I'm paying it forward. I'm doing that for other people because I know I wouldn't have been successful without them. And I think at the end of the day, I cannot emphasize enough of just, you've got to work hard, have a plan, write it down, have a goal, and just see your progress. Some days it's a baby step, some days it's a leap. I tell people in life, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You can't want that instant gratification or something yesterday. I've been working extremely hard for a long time to get to this seat. I still got about 20 more years to go of working, before I retire. And so my journey, my career, my life, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And don't take any opportunity or anything for granted. I just truly believe that. I am blessed. Whether you believe in the spirits or the faiths, or you believe in your religion, just find that sense of purpose and gratefulness And I think you will enjoy life. You will see things with the silver lining and appreciate every day that you're granted, because there's a lot of people that don't get those opportunities or no longer with us that I'm working really hard to make proud.